From humanity's origins, a journey through human history. Human history is a story unlike any other. It is a tale of survival, discovery, ambition, and endless curiosity. A journey that began millions of years before the first cities, kingdoms, or written records. Every invention, every empire, and every scientific breakthrough can ultimately be traced back to a handful of early humans struggling to survive in the wild landscapes of prehistoric Africa. Scientists believe that the earliest ancestors of modern humans evolved in Eastern Africa more than 6 million years ago. These distant relatives walked upright, freeing their hands to carry food, make tools, and eventually reshape the world around them. Over countless generations, evolution favored intelligence, cooperation, and creativity. These qualities would become humanity's greatest strengths. Life during the Stone Age was incredibly harsh. There were no permanent homes, farms, or governments. Small groups of hunter-gatherers wandered across forests, grasslands, and river valleys searching for food. They hunted wild animals such as mammoths, deer, and bison, gathered berries, nuts, roots, and fruits, and caught fish from lakes and rivers. Every day brought new dangers, including predators, disease, hunger, and extreme weather. To survive, early humans learned to work together. Hunting large animals required careful planning, communication, and trust. Families shared food, protected children, and passed knowledge from one generation to the next. These social bonds became one of the key reasons our species succeeded where many others disappeared. One of humanity's earliest technological revolutions was the creation of stone tools. At first, these tools were simple sharpened rocks used for cutting meat and breaking bones. Over thousands of years, they became increasingly sophisticated. Spears allowed hunters to attack from a safer distance, while later inventions such as bows and arrows dramatically improved hunting success. Tools made from bone, antlers, and wood expanded what people could build and create. Perhaps no discovery transformed human life more than fire. Although natural wildfires had always existed, learning to control fire changed everything. Fire provided warmth during freezing nights, frightened away dangerous predators, cooked food, and made many plants and meats easier to digest. Cooked food supplied more energy, which some scientists believe contributed to the development of larger human brains. Fire also became the center of early communities, where stories were shared and knowledge was preserved long before writing existed. Around 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens, the species to which every human alive today belongs, appeared in Africa. These early modern humans gradually expanded beyond their homeland. Beginning roughly 70,000 years ago, groups migrated into the Middle East, Europe, Asia, and eventually Australia. Thousands of years later, some crossed a land bridge connecting Siberia and Alaska during the last ice age, eventually populating North and South America. Within tens of thousands of years, humans had spread across nearly every corner of the planet. As populations expanded, cultures became more diverse. Different groups developed unique languages, customs, beliefs, and artistic traditions. Some of the earliest evidence of human creativity can still be seen in remarkable cave paintings found in France, Spain, Indonesia, and other parts of the world. These paintings depict animals, hunting scenes, mysterious symbols, and human figures. Although their exact meaning remains uncertain, they demonstrate that prehistoric people possessed imagination, spirituality, and artistic talent comparable to our own. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans remained hunter-gatherers. Then, around 10,000 BC, history changed forever. This transformation, known as the Agricultural Revolution, was one of the greatest turning points in human civilization. Instead of constantly moving in search of food, people in several parts of the world began growing crops and domesticating animals. Wheat and barley became staple crops in the Fertile Crescent, while rice was cultivated in East Asia, and maize later became essential in the Americas. Sheep, goats, cattle, pigs, and chickens gradually became part of everyday life. Farming completely transformed society. Reliable food supplies supported larger populations, and families no longer needed to travel constantly. Permanent villages appeared, eventually growing into towns and cities. Food surpluses allowed some people to specialize in professions other than farming. Builders, potters, metalworkers, merchants, priests, soldiers, and administrators emerged, creating increasingly complex societies. Trade also expanded. Communities exchanged food, tools, pottery, precious stones, metals, and ideas. As commerce grew, the need for accurate records became increasingly important. This challenge would soon lead to one of humanity's greatest inventions: writing. Among the earliest civilizations to flourish was ancient Egypt, located along the fertile banks of the Nile River. Every year, seasonal flooding deposited nutrient-rich soil across the surrounding land, allowing farmers to harvest abundant crops. This predictable cycle supported one of history's most stable and long-lasting civilizations, which endured for more than 3,000 years. Egyptian society revolved around powerful rulers known as pharaohs. They were regarded not only as kings, but also as divine figures chosen by the gods to maintain order throughout the kingdom. Their authority allowed Egypt to organize enormous construction projects requiring tens of thousands of workers. The greatest symbols of Egyptian civilization remain the pyramids of Giza. Built over 4,500 years ago, these monumental tombs continue to astonish engineers and historians. The Great Pyramid originally stood nearly 147 meters, 481 feet, tall and was constructed from approximately 2.3 million stone blocks, many weighing several tons. Even today, historians continue debating exactly how such an extraordinary achievement was accomplished using ancient technology. Egyptians also created one of the world's earliest writing systems: hieroglyphics. Priests and scribes carefully recorded royal decrees, religious ceremonies, scientific observations, tax records, and historical events on papyrus scrolls and temple walls. Their understanding of mathematics helped construct monumental architecture, while their medical knowledge included surprisingly advanced surgical procedures and treatments for injuries. While Egypt prospered along the Nile, another remarkable civilization emerged between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. This region became known as Mesopotamia, a Greek word meaning the land between rivers. Because so many early innovations appeared there, historians often call it the cradle of civilization. The Sumerians founded some of humanity's first true cities, including Ur, Uruk, and Eridu. These cities featured massive temples called ziggurats, bustling marketplaces, workshops, and organized governments. To manage growing populations and expanding trade, the Sumerians invented cuneiform writing by pressing wedge-shaped symbols into soft clay tablets. Writing revolutionized civilization. For the first time, laws, business transactions, literature, religious beliefs, and historical records could be preserved accurately across generations. Human knowledge no longer depended entirely on memory. The people of Mesopotamia also made remarkable advances in mathematics and astronomy. Their base 60 numbering system remains with us today. Every hour contains 60 minutes, every minute contains 60 seconds, and circles are divided into 360 degrees because of mathematical principles developed thousands of years ago. Centuries later, Babylon rose to dominance under King Hammurabi. Around 1754 BC, he introduced one of history's earliest comprehensive legal systems, the Code of Hammurabi. Carved into massive stone monuments, these laws established rules governing trade, property, marriage, crime, and justice. Although some punishments were harsh by modern standards, the code introduced an important principle. Laws should be written publicly so everyone understood the rules governing society. Farther east, another advanced civilization flourished in the Indus River Valley. Cities such as Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa displayed remarkable urban planning. Straight streets formed organized grids. Homes were built from standardized baked bricks, and sophisticated drainage systems carried wastewater away from residential areas. Many modern cities lacked comparable sanitation until thousands of years later. Meanwhile, along the Yellow River, early Chinese civilizations gradually developed into one of history's oldest continuous cultures. Bronze technology improved tools and weapons, while organized irrigation supported growing populations. Over the centuries, Chinese civilization produced inventions that would transform the world, including paper, printing, gunpowder, and the magnetic compass. These innovations would eventually spread across continents, influencing science, navigation, warfare, and education. As civilizations expanded, they became increasingly connected through trade. Merchants traveled enormous distances carrying copper, tin, gold, silk, spices, ivory, gemstones, pottery, and textiles. Along with valuable goods came new ideas, religions, technologies, artistic styles, and scientific knowledge. Even in the ancient world, civilizations rarely developed in complete isolation. By the end of this early era, humanity had taken extraordinary steps. People had progressed from small groups of hunter-gatherers living in caves and temporary shelters to builders of cities, inventors of writing, creators of complex governments, and architects of monumental structures that still stand thousands of years later. The foundations of civilization had been laid. In the centuries ahead, powerful kingdoms would rise and fall. Great philosophers would reshape human thought. Mighty armies would conquer vast territories, and new empires would leave lasting marks on history. The next chapter would begin around the Mediterranean, where the civilizations of Greece and Rome would transform the ancient world forever.